Hey everyone, I was trying to take a drive earlier today, but my car just wouldn't start. So instead, I decided to play the greatest and most realistic driving simulator of all time. Sorry, I meant second best. Super Mario Kart. Released for the SNES all the way back in 1992, it was the first of what would go on to be one of the most popular video game series of all time. But does this game stand the test of time? Or should it be left in 1992? Let's discuss. Let me just start off by saying that the title screen and music of this game are iconic. In fact, the main theme music has been reused in the main theme for every single Mario Kart since. It just captures going out for a fun chaotic ride on the racetrack with a bunch of wacky characters. It's great. Speaking of those wacky characters, let's talk about them. A lot of the classics are here. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, Koopa Troopa, and Bowser. And in classic Mario Kart fashion, we have Donkey Kong Jr. Who is Donkey Kong Jr.? I don't know. Why they didn't include just regular old Donkey Kong, I'm not too sure. But honestly, I'm glad Donkey Kong Jr. is here. He's an odd choice, but definitely adds to the charm and character of this game. Also, here's a fun fact. The official artwork for DK Jr. shows a red J on his shirt to signify Jr., whereas his sprite in game features a V, probably so that his sprite would take up less space by being symmetrical. What does the V stand for? Vroom! In terms of items, they work exactly as you'd expect them to in this game. Drive over an item panel, and you get one of a handful of items. A lot of these you probably already know about. The banana peel, green shell, red shell, mushroom, invincibility star, and lightning are all series staples. This game also features the feather. It allows the user to perform a high jump. It can be helpful if there's a nearby hazard or shortcut, but most of the time it just ends up feeling kinda useless. This game also has the boo item, which turns the user transparent for a few seconds and steals an opponent's item. But this is only available in battle mode and match race. Oh, and coins are here. Whoop-de-doo. And, believe it or not, there are custom items in this game. But more on that later. Because we need to talk about the different modes that this game has to offer. Super Mario Kart features 3 modes that have been staples of the entire series: Grand Prix, Time Trials, and Battle Mode. Time Trials is pretty straightforward. Hop on any track you want and try to get around it as quickly as possible. Battle Mode is a 2-player exclusive mode in this game where you square off in an arena with items. The goal is to eliminate all of the opponent's balloons before they do the same to you. It's a pretty basic version of the mode in this game, but hey, it works. And then we have Grand Prix. There are 3 difficulties: 50cc, 100cc, and 150cc, the last of which you unlock by beating all 4 cups on 100cc. Each cup has 5 tracks, most of them just being a variation of a certain theme, with there being 8 themes in the game. The themes are Mario Circuit, Donut Plains, Ghost Valley, Bowser's Castle, Choco Island, Koopa Beach, Vanilla Lake, and Rainbow Road. The tracks are about as basic as can be, but that's okay. This is the first installment in the series and it's on the SNES. Basic track layout is perfectly fine and honestly expected. But it's certainly nothing to write home about. In each race, you try to get the highest place you can, with each place corresponding to a number of points you'll receive for each race. Then at the end of the 5 races, the game adds up all of the points and tells you who won. Now me, I'm a Mario Kart veteran, so I decided to skip right past 50cc and start with 100. Let's see how that went. This is one of the hardest Mario Karts out there. Now, a lot of that has to do with the controls and the way depth is portrayed in the game. Or rather, the lack of depth portrayal in this game. This game hurts my eyes. I feel like I'm always staring super intensely at the screen to figure out which way to turn. The best, or perhaps worst examples of this are the Bowser castles, in my opinion. The background blends in with the track, so sometimes I'll just drive straight into a wall. I think the developers must have realized this too, since there are arrows all over the track to point the player in the right direction. But that still doesn't stop me from smashing into walls all the time. Honestly, after playing this game for about an hour, I started to feel kind of nauseous and had to turn the game off and take a break before returning to play. So maybe the V on Donkey Kong Jr.'s shirt stands for vertigo. Also, controlling the karts in this game feels pretty slippery, and drifting just isn't that fun. It takes a while to get a hang of, and even once I did get somewhat of a hold of it, I still found myself messing up all the time. Way too often when I went to drift, I would just drift too much or not enough. Drifting is typically one of the most fun things in Mario Kart, but not in this game. More often than not, I just had more success slowing down and turning normally than I had drifting on turns. But the cherry on top of the difficulty sundae is that the CPUs get basically every advantage you could possibly think of. For one, rubber banding is a thing in this game. No matter how far ahead you are of the competition, someone will somehow inevitably end up right behind you seconds later. If you end up far behind though, you may as well give up. The race is over. Oh, and remember those custom items I mentioned before? Guess what? Only the computer players can use them. Mario and Luigi get invincibility stars whenever they want. Yoshi has unlimited eggs, which work similarly to bananas. Toad and Peach have poisonous mushrooms that shrink the player if they run into one. And Bowser throws fireballs. But do you get any of these items? Nope. Overall, the Grand Prix in this game is just not as fun as it should be. The computer cheats, a lot of the tracks are similar. Oh, and if you fail to finish in the top 4 of any race, you are automatically disqualified from the entire Grand Prix. I can't tell you the number of times I'd be doing pretty well throughout a Grand Prix just to run into one course I couldn't beat for whatever reason. I'd have to use all 3 of my lives and I'd still fail to finish in the top 4. Thank God they got rid of this live system in future installments of the series. Alright, now for my final verdict on Super Mario Kart. Hey, maybe that's what the V stands for on Donkey Kong Jr.'s shirt. All in all, I'm leaving this game in 1992. It was definitely a fantastic game for its time, and its multiplayer support can't go unappreciated. And what it did for the genre of fun kart racers is nothing short of groundbreaking. But its single player modes just leave so much to be desired, and are just quite frankly a slog to play through. If you're a big fan of the Mario Kart series, then play this one if you're curious about the beginnings of this worldwide phenomenon. But if you're looking for a good time, I would play literally any other game in the series. But this game is Donkey Kong Jr., so you can't say it's total garbage.